Our conditions majority bullish as we closed out yesterday on S&P 500, sitting at 14 and 14 on the 1 hour time frame as well, running into this supply block still and looking for either a rejection around that area or a breakout of that area. I'm talking about this range right here. It's also looking, this is just kind of the zoomed in version of this price activity right here. You can see this little this up and down activity. That's this up and down activity looking at that 1 hour time frame right here. So you can see that we're wanting to press through that. We're getting a little bit higher high activity, and if we can get a breakout, a lot of the other markets are very similar to that pattern right now. S&P futures are relatively flat this morning and not doing much as of right now. The breadth of the market sitting at 57.85, meaning that 57% of S&P 500 stocks are trading above the 50-day moving average. We're seeing a majority bullish on the trend activity as well, and that is again just adding to the bullish confirmation here. Even though we're not seeing a big strong move, we are not seeing selling, just kind of some indecision right here with a bullish tone to it. We're seeing VIX sitting down here at 1538. Again, bullish for the markets, majority bearish on the 1 hour and daily for VIX is bullish for stocks. SHY, the short end of the yield curve, really trying to get back to a bullish state right here. Majority bullish at 8 on SHY and majority bullish on the 1 hour at 13. So that's turning the corner here. And as bonds are moving higher, rates are moving lower. And that's what we want to see, especially on the short end of this yield curve. We want to see that moving quickly. That's corresponding to the 2-year note here, similar to it, 4.26, and majority bullish on the rates. We want to see that starting to curl to the downside. The 10-year or the longer term yields, the 20-year sitting at majority bearish also, and not extreme. It has gone from this expanded state, working its way back towards some compressed state on the 1 hour time frame. Definitely seeing that on the daily time frame, not so much. The 10-year yield still sitting at 449, right around that 450 range, and having kind of some consolidation happening right here with that yield curve still bullish but softening a little bit. And again, anything above zero, what we want to see is we want to see a really strong yield curve that looks more like this. Okay, we want to see that a long ways away from that zero number right here. Anything less than that zero is an inverted yield curve, and so we're back up above that and improving. But traditionally, when we have an inverted yield curve, we get 12 to 18 months later, we've seen recession. We haven't quite seen that yet, but we're also approaching that range of that 18-month time frame on that yield curve. We'll see where we pan out on that. Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let me squeeze this back in here just a little bit. We're seeing some bullishness here also, but it is again weakening on that 1 hour time frame towards the bottom end of that trading pattern, that support area, and majority bearish on the 1 hour time frame on Dow Jones Industrial Average. Triple Qs, that's the NASDAQ 100, majority bullish right here on both the 1 hour and the daily time frame. Russell 2000, the small cap names weakening right here a little bit, majority bearish with 9 and 5, and that trend is just kind of flattening. Can't get any momentum. You can see it's just working here, broke down, tried to come back up a little bit. So small caps, some indecision certainly happening with a bearishness to that in the short term as well. USO, just the opposite of that. We're seeing some bullishness starting to come into oil again. Majority bullish on the 1 hour, majority bullish on the daily, finding support at that 50% retracement on USO. GLD, which is gold, also having this really nice historic run. Potential pullback ranges could be back to that 261 range on GLD, but still looking quite bullish. SLV also in a nice bullish pattern. Just remember, once we start to get these really wide expansions in trend, we can typically run into a consolidation, which may look and feel more something like this. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to reverse and move lower once it's expanded, but it starts here. It starts looking like this, and then if it gets any weaker, we'll start to see that happening on those trend structures. If we take a look at a couple of ideas for you today, one is FPI. This is actually a real estate investment trust, Farmland Partners. Interesting idea. And take a look at their website. as well, looking at some of the things they're doing in owning farmland. Again, a real estate investment trust is out buying different properties, buying real estate as a portfolio, and you would own a piece of what they own essentially. If they're owning a bunch of different farmland pieces, then you would have a fraction of that. Interesting idea to be owning farmland through an ETF. That's got a real big, nice confirmation bar here. Also, ENFN, also a nice looking price pattern on a breakout. And let me just squeeze that over just a little bit right here. That breakout pattern, consolidation, big confirmation, and it was trading a little bit lower, gaps higher, moves back down. But this range right here, keep an eye here as you're seeing momentum starting to push back into ENFM. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.